this will be an interview with Addie Foy Gibson on June 19th, 1999. Who all has interviewed you?
Punky.
When did she do it?
I think sitting there at the table one day.
Well, was she writing anything down? Okay, Nanny, what was your full name?
Addie Foy Roberson.
And what was your date of birth?
4/22/1908.
Okay. And the Social Security says you were born in?
1907.
Okay. All right, now where were you born?
In Alabama.
Where in Alabama?
Pike County, I don't know.
Okay, were you born at home?
Yeah.
Whose home was it at the time? All right, well, what was your mama's name? What was your mother's name?
Addie Foy
What was her maiden name?
Jackson.
Okay. And what was your papa's name?
John Reuben Roberson.
Okay. Do you know anything about where they met, how they met?
No.
But they were living in Pike County when they met?
I don't know where they were. I sure don't.
Okay.
Because I didn't know any of his people.
All right. All right, so you didn't know any of your uncles or anything like that?
He didn't have any brothers, but a half-brother.
No, he did. Did he have any sisters?
2 sisters.
Did you ever meet them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What, did they come to y'all's house when you moved away, or?
They visited all the time. Aunt Sally and Aunt Jenny.
Okay. Visited y'all where? Where were you living?
In Jackson County, Campbellton.
So y'all had already moved over there?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, do you know anything, were they married? What was Sally's name?
Sally Jackson. Sally Graves. She married Walter Graves.
Okay, what did he do?
One of his sisters.
What did he do?
They lived down in Florida.
That's
I guess at Orange Groves or something. That's what they did down there.
Mm-hmm. And who was the other sister?
Aunt Jenny Falk. And they farmed.
Where did they farm?
In Alabama and Florida.
Okay. Do you know where they're buried?
Nope. Down in Florida. Both of them down in Florida, Bartow.
When they were married, did they have children?
Oh, sure.
Did they ever bring their children with them when they came to visit?
Oh, yeah.
So who were their children?
Aunt Jenny's was Sally and Hiram. I don't think she had but 2, a girl and a boy.
Mm-hmm. Were they your age?
Oh, no, they were older.
Mm-hmm.
And Aunt Sally, they had a bunch of them. I don't know how many children they had.
But she used to bring them with her when she would come to visit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, were those children older than you were?
Some of them was younger.
Do you remember any of them in particular?
Not, Grover was one of the boys down in Florida. I don't remember the others, their names.
Mm-hmm. What did y'all do when they would come to visit?
I guess get out and play.
Did y'all ever go there? To their houses?
Oh, yeah, when we were small.
How did y'all get there?
Horse and buggy, wagon.
Well, it would probably take y'all a long time, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's the reason people didn't visit much back then, because they didn't have any way
Well,
to
if
travel.
y'all would go by horse and buggy,
Yeah.
all of y'all?
A wagon? No. When all of us to go, we'd have to go in the wagon, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, how long would it take y'all to get there?
According to where they lived.
Well, if they lived in Bartow.
Oh no, didn't go down there.
Oh, okay.
Not after they got cars. Until after they got cars, you know.
Well, where would they be living? Someplace where y'all would go see them in the wagons?
Aunt Jenny and them used to live in Campbellton.
Okay.
They lived there for a while, so. But after they moved off down there, we never did get to go until they were real old.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right, so y'all would just, when they lived around in Campbellton, y'all would visit?
Visit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, what about your mother? Did she have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, she had one brother and 2 sisters.
Do you remember their names?
Aunt Liza and we called her Scrap. I don't know. That's all we called her, Aunt Scrap. She lived in Ayrton, Alabama, and Aunt Liza lived up there out in the country from Ayrton.
Were they married?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember their married names?
No, Aunt Liza was bedridden, and 2 of her daughters lived in Campbellton, right close next door to Papa after Mama died. And they lived there until, I guess about 6 or 8 years ago, and then they put them had to go to a nursing home down below Marana, and one of them passed away, and the other one's still living down there.
Were those the 2 old ladies that lived next door?
Next door.
Oh, well, I remember them.
Yep, that's where that was Mama's sisters.
Children?
Uh-huh.
Huh, well, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, we never did go visit them when I went up there with you. I don't remember ever.
They were kind of funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In like what way?
Well, you know, when anybody grows up, they were both old maids, you know, and they just didn't know how to mingle with people. Lived way out in the country.
Okay, now say that again about your grandparents.
About now why I didn't know.
Right.
Well, I said I didn't know either of my grandparents on my mother's side or dad's, either one, except I was about 3 or 4 when my grandmother passed away.
Now, which grandmother was that?
Mama's. She was living with them at the time.
Okay, so she was living there when you were real small.
When I was born, she was living there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what her name was? Did anybody ever tell you what her name was?
No, because I just called her grandmother.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I guess, I mean, your brothers knew her, I guess.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Were all older.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Well, now, did your mama and daddy ever tell you anything about how they met?
No.
They never did
They never talk about it.
They never did talk about any stories or anything?
No, their parents, no nothing. Sure didn't.
Well, what kind of things did y'all do when you were growing up?
Usual things anybody that go to school, come home, play in the yard. Play baseball and basketball on weekends. That's about all I had to do.
All right, now, how did your daddy become a farmer?
I guess he was raised as a farmer.
Okay. I mean, as far as you know, that's probably what his parents did.
Parents did.
Okay.
Because he lost his daddy when he was 18 years old, so. And I never did know who his stepfather was either. And I've never heard them mention. But Uncle Sam, that was his half-brother, was a Clark.
Okay.
She had married a Clark.
She married again. But it was this Clark person, was he probably a farmer too?
Yeah, I guess he was. Yeah, 'cause he lived on the farm.
Mm-hmm. But you never met him either.
Oh, yeah, I met him, but, you know.
Well, now, how
I
did
knew
you meet
him.
him if you didn't know any of your grandparents?
Because he visited us.
Oh, so he was still alive and he would come and visit.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh. He was still alive after Grandma died.
Now, are we talking about her husband, or you talking about Uncle Sam?
I'm talking about his daddy.
Your father's stepfather?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I never did know him. They all died before I was born. 'Cause
Okay, you didn't know your father's father, but you knew his stepfather.
no, I didn't know him. I knew his half brother.
Oh, and the half brother was the one who would come and visit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right. I was confused. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, do you know where? So now, is he still alive? Where is he buried?
Up in Alabama.
You don't know where?
Mm.
Do you know where your mother and father's people are buried?
Nope. In Alabama, if they were raised up there, that's where they were.
Mm-hmm. But you don't know what county?
Mm.
Okay. And you don't remember their names?
Not there.
Okay.
It's in the Bible, but see, I don't have it.
Okay, so who's got that? Martha?
No, I don't know.
I think Martha has
Roscoe
the
was the
Bible.
last one that had it, so I imagine she had.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, which of your brothers was the oldest?
Lockard.
Okay, Uncle Lockard. Do you know when he was born?
No, it's in. No, I couldn't tell. It's 1800 and something. The oldest one in Coley was in 1800, and Sherman then got to 1900.
Okay. So Uncle
And
Lockard.
then no, there's 2 years difference in them, if you can count that back,
Mhm.
from 1900, Coley and Lockard.
All right, so it was Uncle Lockard,
Coley,
then Uncle Coley,
then Sherman,
Uncle Sherman,
Bill,
Uncle Bill.
and Roscoe,
Okay.
Roy,
Mhm.
myself,
Mhm.
Wavy,
Mhm.
Harold,
Mhm.
and Thelma Lucille
Okay. All right, and she's the one who died.
at a month, which is
Okay.
a month old.
Mhm. All right. Okay. What was Uncle Lockard's full name?
Lockard Green.
Green was his middle name.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And what about Uncle Coley?
Coley Bryant,
Coley Bryant.
Sherman Lee,
Mhm.
William Jefferson. That's Bill's name.
Uh huh.
William Jefferson. And Roscoe, Samuel Roscoe.
Samuel Roscoe. Okay.
And Roy Hart, Addie Foy, Wavy May, and Harold Reuben, and Thelma Lucille.
Boy, y'all sure had some names.
Yep. Sure did, Roy Hart. I don't know where that heart come from.
Who were they married to?
Well, Lockard was married to Cora Bruner. I don't know the middle names in
Okay.
him. Cora.
And their two
Bruner.
children. Who were their children?
They had three boys, Fletcher, Eugene, and Olin. And Coley married Elby White. And they had three.
And
Three boys. Benham, James, and Lathan.
so Benham was the oldest.
Uh-huh. And Sherman had three boys. married Eleanor. Donald, who was Freeman, Eleanor Freeman. And they had 3 boys. Orville, Billy, and Johnny. And Roscoe had married Eleanor Hughes and had 2 girls and a boy. Martha Lou, Samuel, and Barbara Ann. And Roy had three girls, Nettie Ann, Edna Catherine, and Mary. I don't know her middle name. And I had 2 boys and a girl, Catherine, Donald, and Bubba, John. And Wavy had 2 boys, John and Billy White.
Is Billy's name Billy or William?
William. His name's William too, but they call him Billy.
Yeah.
And Harold had 2 married. Well, I can't tell you how many times he married.
About 5.
Nell, he married Nell and had Patsy Robertson and a son. Thank you. What was his son's name? I can't even remember. Because I didn't see him very many times.
And then he was killed in an accident, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, down in Panama City. And he got killed. So I can't remember what his name is.
What did all of the, each one of your brothers, what did they do for a living?
Baby. Different things.
Well, I know that.
Well, Lockard was a farmer, Coley was a farmer, and
I thought Uncle Coley did
carpenter.
I was going to say carpenter work.
Farm and carpenter work. Sherman was a farmer and run a market, beef market. Bill was, I can't say he was overseer, I guess, because he just owned land and stuff and had it done. Roy was the sheriff at one time, run a store. Huh? And Roscoe was a barber. And Harold was in the Navy, and I don't know what kind of work he done after to come out. Practically nothing.
Uncle Lockard and Uncle Sherman is the 2 I remember doing practically nothing.
Well, some did practically nothing.
Hunting fish.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Hunting fish.
Well, did they all live up there? Did they all stay in Campbellton?
Oh, no. They, at one time, they was, well, Lockard, he never did move away. But Sherman and Coley used to live down in Florida. Marked in Florida for a while. They lived down there. Worked on that, carpenter work and stuff like that. And Roscoe lived in Graceville. And
now, how did he start barbering?
he just started, like your granddaddy did. Just decided he wanted to barber our death.
Didn't have any lessons?
Back then, you didn't have to go to school for it.
As long as somebody would let you cut their hair.
So
right?
them 2 did. Oh, yeah, them 2 went to barber and they didn't have to take exam or nothing. So, yeah.
All right, now, which one of your brothers was the first one to pass away?
Lockard.
What was wrong?
Nah, I'll take that back. Tom, did Roscoe have that wreck before Lockard?
Lockard died.
Well, I think he did too. I believe he did. Yeah, I think Locker was one that passed.
What did he have? What did he die from? Any particular thing?
Well, he fell. I mean, he just fell dead.
Back then, they probably didn't know.
They thought, what I believe he died with, he was eating dinner, and they had steak for lunch. And he was eating, and he pushed his plate back and went out to the store. He choked himself to death and died. And they claimed he had a heart attack.
But you're right, I bet he did choke to death.
That's exactly what happened. There wasn't nobody there but him and Cora.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sick, but she wouldn't have known nothing, no way.
Mm-hmm.
And he got up, pushed his plate back, and never said one word, and he fell before he got to the store. And I think that's exactly what killed him. Because, you will choke to death like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roscoe, he had a car, wreck.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, that's what killed him. So, and then Wavy, she had pneumonia.
Well, Wavy might have been the first one.
She was. Wavy was the first. Yeah.
She was the first one to die.
No, she. Now Locker didn't die till after Papa, did he?
Well, Wavy died a long time ago.
Wavy was living when Papa died.
Yeah.
But she was in Chattahoochee?
Yeah. She was living, though, when Papa died, because she was up there at the funeral.
All right, so she was in Chattahoochee when she died.
Oh, yeah.
What year was that? Do you remember when she died? Because I remember you taking me to Chattahoochee to see her.
Nope. I don't remember what year it was.
I was real little, but I remember going
Uh-huh.
to the hospital to see her.
But I don't remember what year it was.
I think she had black eye.
She might have. I really don't know what year.
Now, she had a brain tumor?
Yeah.
And they couldn't operate on it?
Oh, yeah, they operated, but that's why.
They couldn't get it all.
They didn't get it all. They just got part of it out. They said she'd be a vegetable if they got it all out.
Mm-hmm.
But as it was, she might live 5 years longer, but there wasn't nothing they could do.
Mm-hmm.
But then she never did know nothing, nobody or nothing like that.
When she went to the hospital, when you went to the hospital to see her, she didn't know who you were? Could she still talk and everything?
Well, you couldn't understand nothing she'd say.
So she wasn't much better off.
No, well, in fact, she wouldn't have been.
40 years ago, wasn't it, Mom?
Huh?
That was over 40 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, 'cause I wasn't even, I wasn't working at the school when she died. Don't you know, we went you was, had your office in there with Dun and Bradstreet. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, I do remember one time going
Uh-huh.
to the hospital.
Yep.
So it would have been probably she would have died in the 50s if it was over 40 years.
It's been in the 50s, I'm sure.
It would have been in the 50s, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Billy and him wasn't that old when she died. Billy, was he in the service then?
Oh,
See, Billy's 62 years old, so.
yeah, I know he's just 9 months. You just 9 months older than Billy.
How old was she when that happened to her?
Well, her?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was before Mama died.
How did y'all know she had a brain tumor? How was she acting?
Oh, he took her to every doctor could think of here, and they couldn't find what was wrong. Took her to all them doctors in Georgia, places like that. They couldn't find nothing, and finally wound up over in New Orleans at that clinic.
But I mean, what
We
was
were
wrong
over
with
there.
her? How was she
Well,
acting?
she just couldn't remember, and she just wasn't well. Just couldn't remember nothing, do nothing, and things like that. And she had to have one of her fingers was off, and that was probably cancer, you know. Before then, she'd had a finger had to take off. She lost her sense of smell and taste and everything.
And how old a woman was she?
2 years younger than me.
She wasn't all that old
When she died,
Oh, really?
She probably was in her 50s, early 50s, I would guess.
But she'd been in the hospital for how long?
Long time.
Like 10 years?
Oh, no.
But
Five.
she'd probably been sick for
A
maybe
long
10
time,
years,
yeah.
over 10 years or so. So probably started in her early 40s.
Wow.
When it started.
It's when they lived in up there at the cantonment, the paper mills. When
And so,
Billy and them were young then, because Billy didn't finish school. He didn't finish school here, high school here, so before he was,
they finished
Billy
school
was
in
out of high
Georgia.
school, he got out in, I think, 54 or something like that, so it was before that. So
well, if they were living in Georgia,
They were.
that's where he was.
Fargo.
who, but was Uncle Roy living there with
Oh,
them?
yeah. They were
He
living in
worked for
Georgia.
St. Regis, they had a big deal there, and he was an engineer or something.
Oh,
He did
he-
lots of
it,
traveling and what have you.
Well, so all right, so they were living in Georgia. Is that when they found out that something was wrong with
Yeah.
her? So then they moved to Pensacola?
No, they lived over here on W Street. They owned a home. He worked up at the paper mill, and they transferred him to Georgia.
Oh, okay.
They were living in Georgia when he found out what was wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then when did they move back to Pensacola?
They didn't.
Well, he did.
Yeah, after he finished up down there, and
Down where, Fargo?
yeah, and John married down there. Well, Billy married his Nita too down there.
In Fargo?
Yeah,
They're both from Fargo, Martha and Nita?
yeah.
Well, or Valdosta, like that.
Right, they're somewhere close to it. Anyway, that's where they were.
All right, so then
In
he
Georgia.
moved back here to Pensacola
Yeah.
and lived on W Street. Uncle Rory.
No, he didn't move back home after she died, did he, Don?
What?
Did he live back over there after she died?
I don't remember if he lived there.
Yeah, he
lived there
did, because
somewhere.
Nita and Billy lived
Yes,
with him.
they
right,
had
he used to
Joy.
live there.
I remember. I used
Yeah,
to go
and
over
Joy.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I used to go over there all the time. I know
That's
he lived
right.
there.
That's right. He lived there when after, because Billy and Nita moved here and lived
Mhm.
over there with him.
Mm-hmm.
That was right.
And how long? She'd been dead how long then?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the years.
Mm-hmm. Now, Uncle Roy, he was married. Who did he marry?
RV.
What did RV stand for?
I don't know. That's all I knew. RV. I don't know what her really name was. All we ever knew was RV.
Well, what was her last name?
Carlisle.
And she lived, where did she live?
Hamilton.
So he met her in Campbellton.
Oh yeah, they lived there in Hamilton. She was raised, her and her two sisters, by Mick Carlisle, the grandmother, and their aunt and uncle. I guess her parents died because I never did know them. They lived there in Hamilton.
Okay. And
Messer. She was a Messer. R.V. Messer
okay.
was her name.
Last name.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now she had tuberculosis at one time, didn't
Oh,
she?
yeah. She was down in Florida in that clinic, what do you call it down
Sanatorium.
there? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. How long was she down there?
Well, she was down there I know she was there a year because we went down there.
Well, who took care of the girls for Uncle Roy while she was down there?
Well, he didn't Nettie and I guess Mitt and Mitt Carlisle's uncle and aunt taking care of them, 'cause that's who they live with there in Camilton.
Oh, Uncle Roy and Aunt RV lived with her aunt and uncle?
No, RV did.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And they taking care of Nettie Ann and sister, 'cause Mary wasn't born when she was down there in the hospital.
And where was Uncle Roy?
Like he lived there at his at the house,
Oh, okay, but he didn't
Hamilton.
have girls with him.